This is CBS.
The Tarzan legacy. Was the legendary role plagued with problems? Get the inside story on Entertainment Tonight.
Next on WHAS TV.
Sit up, up, up.
Each year, more and more dogs die from heartworm infection. Preventing heartworm disease used to be difficult, but now it's easy. Speak to your veterinarian. Find out how important prevention is and how convenient it can be. Stop heartworm disease. It's something simple you can learn to do for him.
American Fitness Center has added equipment and expanded. Now there are more ways for you to get in shape.
You can get into shape at American Fitness and have a great time and meet a lot of nice people. I get an excellent workout at American Fitness.
Anything you want to do, you can do at American Fitness. American Fitness has everything that I need to work out.
Join now and get 75% off and 2 years free. Hurry, offer ends Thursday.
Arby's presents the classics. 3 classic roast beef sandwiches, each just 99 cents when you buy Arby's curly fries, shoestrings, or potato cakes. You can get the classic deluxe with lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise. Add some sizzle, and you've got the classic with bacon. Or take a slice at the classic with Swiss. But to appreciate Arby's 99-cent classics, hurry in now, because...
Treat your Derby fever with party kits and gifts. Call or write to order your free catalog today, or visit our store at 3730 Lexington Road in St. Matthews.
The future of your children's education, tonight on WHAS TV.
5, 6, 7, 8, and hit.
Hit is right. It's Oscar night in Hollywood and the whole world is watching. This is Entertainment Tonight for Monday, March 26, 1990.
Hi, everybody. I'm John Tesh.
And I'm Mary Hart. The champagne's on ice, the gowns are all ready, and the speeches prepared. All is ready for Oscar night in Hollywood. Last-minute preparations continued over the weekend for the 62nd Annual Academy Award Show.
Nice. Close.
Choreographer Paula Abdul fine-tuned some dance numbers as Oscar waited in a crate outside the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion. The first fans arrived over the weekend, a full 48 hours before showtime. Producer Gil Cates reminded TV crews from around the world that the show would have an international flavor, as 5 Oscars are to be presented via satellite.
The hosts in the 5 cities are going to be Jack Lemmon in Moscow, Charlton Heston will be in Buenos Aires, Mel Gibson and Glenn Close will be in London, and Brian Brown and Rachel Ward in Sydney, Australia.
And director Jeff Margolis said winners would have 45 seconds for thank yous. He had a word of warning for the long-winded.
At the end of the 45-second period of time, as soon as somebody stops to take a breath, Bill Conti, our musical director, will conduct the orchestra for a playoff, and we will carry on to the next thing.
Meanwhile, at a pre-Oscar black tie affair, most everyone was coy about predictions except Jill St. John, who said she had a favorite.
It's Jessica Tandy for her body of work, as well as Driving Miss Daisy.
ABC will telecast the Academy Awards live this evening, and an audience of 1 billion is expected.
The movies, and there were 46 of them, never won an Oscar, but for over 70 years, for generation after generation, from 1918 through the 80s, the world sat on the edge of its seat. Our inside story today begins with the cry that will forever be unmistakable. For more than 8 decades, Tarzan has remained one of the most endearing characters to ever come along. From the first silent film in 1918 with Elmo Lincoln, to Joe Lara in last year's Tarzan in Manhattan. More than 20 different actors have starred in over 40 films.
Bingo! Bingo!
Fans remember Johnny Weissmuller in the 30s, Lex Barker and Gordon Scott in the 50s, and Ron Ely from the 1960s television series. For many, it was the experience of a lifetime, one that abounds with some unusual war stories. At 62, Gordon Scott still retains the stature of the man he portrayed in 5 films, and he had his share of misadventures along the way. He once required 32 stitches to close a wound a lion opened. But his favorite story involves a rather large boa constrictor that got a bit out of hand.
It got me. It was through my crotch and around my waist and everything, and it started cinching up. And I'm telling you, they had 4 guys to pull that damn thing off of me. I was talking soprano for about a week.
And Christopher Lambert, who starred in 1984's Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan, nearly ran into some real problems when he accidentally got a tiger by the tail while swinging through the jungle.
I didn't have my glasses on. I don't wear contact lenses, and I nearly missed the vine. I had this huge panther on my shoulder, and I grabbed the tail of the panther instead of the vine.
But the real champ when it came to mishaps was the TV Tarzan, Ron Ely. He suffered 17 injuries the first year alone that ranged from fractured ribs to lion bites. A publicity photo showed them off, but now he admits he took a lot of chances in his role.
It was a rigorous kind of schedule, plus I did not use a double in those days. It was something that I'm glad I did, but I'd sure never do it again.
But of all the men ever to lace up the loincloth, Johnny Weissmuller was the most famous of them all. The star of 12 films, he was a gregarious man who loved to joke around on a set. Maureen O'Sullivan, who starred opposite him as Jane, recalls a time high atop a tree when his playful antics helped create one of cinema's best-loved introductions.
Jane. Tarzan. Jane. Tarzan.
Johnny was a terrible tease, and he poked me and he said, Jane. And I'm very much afraid of height. And I was afraid I was going to fall. So I said, Tarzan. And he said, Jane. And we kept doing it back and forth, and the director thought it was nice. He said, leave that in. So that's the way that got in the script.
But for this Lord of the Apes, life off the vine was a tough one. 5 failed marriages, tax problems, and bouts with alcohol all ate up his fortune and ultimately his health. Toward the end, and increasingly feeble, he clung only to the memories of his youth. Noted Tarzan historian George McWhorter says it was all he had left.
All he could remember was the Tarzan yell, which he ran up and down the halls of the hospital and thumping his chest and giving this yell. To him, Tarzan was everything.
And luckily for us, the images of him at his best remain as timeless as the primal cry he helped make so famous. By the way, if you have a Jones for Tarzan movie, some of them are available on home video. Check your local video store. Tomorrow, Entertainment Tonight's eagerly awaited Oscar special. All of the behind-the-scenes excitement you can see nowhere else, only tomorrow on Entertainment Tonight.
Coming up next, the 10 sexiest bachelors revealed, so keep a date to find out who they are. And later, from Little Opie to powerful film director, Ron Howard's celebrity friends turn out to honor a Hollywood success story.
The show must go on, even when you have your period. That's why you need Sure and Natural, a comfortable thin maxi. Sure and Natural, because life doesn't stop for your period. Get super savings with a 75-cent coupon from Sunday's paper, March 25th.
What do doctors recommend most for the aches and pains of colds and flu? Not aspirin, not anymore. In fact, doctors now recommend Tylenol 14 times more than aspirin for the aches of colds and flu. Tylenol, recommended the most by the people who know the most.
Yippee! We won! Mr. Keebler, look. It says Wheatables beat Wheat Thins in taste test.
Really? I should have won.
Wheatables are the greatest.
Elmer, please. Bragging is unbecoming an elf. Sure, we took whole wheat, added elfin seasonings for extra flavorful taste. And it's nice folks prefer the taste of Wheatables over Wheat Thins. But where's your elfin modesty?
Sorry, sir. I got carried away.
2 to 1. Yahoo! Wheatables are the greatest.
M Days are here. The month is March. The cars are Mercury's. The values are here. M Days. Save with $1,000 cash back on Mercury Cougar, $750 on Sable, Topaz, and Grand Marquis, plus $1,500 cash back on Lincoln Mark 7 and Continental. All before you make your best deal. M Days. A multi-million-dollar inventory. The cars, the cash, the deals. Only at your Lincoln Mercury dealer. Ends April 2nd.
Now at Crossroads Furniture, the final few hours of Crossroads' gigantic 58 cents on the dollar sale. For a limited time only, on any furniture purchase you make, you pay just 58 cents on the dollar. For example, if you buy $500 worth, $290 is all you pay. If you buy $1,000 worth, $580 is all you pay. It's the final few hours of Crossroads' gigantic 58 cents on the dollar sale going on now at Crossroads Furniture.
The Difference at Night. Action 11 News Night Team on WHAS TV.
Us Magazine is about to release its list of the top 10 sexiest bachelors for 1990. The list is dominated by Hollywood hunks, some who have been single forever and some who are single again. Now that Mimi Rogers and Tom Cruise have parted ways, Cruise is back on the single scene. The same goes for 23-year-old Kiefer Sutherland, who's divorcing his 37-year-old wife. The hunt for red-hot screen hunks leads to Alec Baldwin and to Matt Dillon. Us reports that Dillon sometimes picks up women in department stores. Beatbox Romeo Bobby Brown is the solo pick from the world of music. Stars of television rate as prime-time catches when Richard Grieco of Booker or John Stamos of Full House are on the screen, according to the folks over at Us Magazine. And with that face, that chest, and all the rest, JFK Jr. is the magazine's pick as its international bachelor for both sides of the date line. On the lookout for the heartthrobs of tomorrow, Us Magazine picked Greg Rainwater of the Young Riders and Keanu Reeves, who played the teenaged hubby in the movie Parenthood. Cool. You'll be able to pick up your favorite bachelor at the newsstand when the special Us Magazine delivers the goods next Monday.
Marky Post is about to deliver a baby, and NBC's Night Court is incorporating real life into comedy as Marky's character gets more help with the process than a mother deserves.
Push it out, way out!
I'm trying to deliver this baby, not shoot it across the room.
Christine has not one, but 3 coaches helping out in her birthing class this week on Night Court. Marky Post, the actress who plays her, is pregnant and finds she can bring a lot to the character.
It's great. I get to bring in anything that's really happening to me. I can't dress. I'm fat. I look like a cow. All that stuff I say off camera gets in the script.
In the story, Christine fantasizes that these 3 friends will have too much influence in her child's life.
For myself, personally, the scariest one is Dan's influence on the child.
He would teach the boy certain essential activities that we all like to do. Married or single?
Single.
How can you tell?
Not one pair of cotton undies.
Whether Christine Sullivan delivers a boy or a girl is the writer's secret. As for Marky Post's own baby, she'll wait until he or she makes an entrance.
There's so few surprises left, you know, that I don't want to know. So I keep, if I ever have a sonogram, I tell the doctor, if you get near that spot, just tell me to look away, because I don't want to know, and neither does my husband. So we're buying a lot of yellow things.
There will be no deliveries on tomorrow night's episode, but Marky's baby could arrive anytime. She's due in the next 2 weeks.
ABC has the answer to LA Law tomorrow night. The show is called Equal Justice, and it concentrates on a battery of prosecutors determined to make the court system work.
Objection.
Equal Justice portrays the gritty world of deputy district attorneys who fight to put rapists, murderers, and drug dealers behind bars.
And I will prosecute this case to the fullest extent of the law. Period. That's it.
The cases that we're dealing with are sort of the cases you would read in the newspaper every day. This is as opposed to something like LA Law, which is more white-collar crime, very high gloss.
Cotter Smith plays the chief prosecutor trying to whip his staff of young attorneys into shape.
I've told you people that when you're a lawyer, you stand back.
Well, sir, I'd like to be able to argue that.
Well, there isn't any argument because the defense has a right to those statements and to question who took them.
I grew up with all of this. My father was a federal judge in Washington, D.C., so I sort of grew up in the legal system, and this is very accurate.
So, this is your case? These people get on the stand and they say something different from your records, and who is there to testify to the inconsistencies?
One of the rookie prosecutors is portrayed by Sarah Jessica Parker, who gets a heavy dose of reality when she joins the office.
I think there's an audience for realistic television. I think that
I mean, well, I'm hoping there's an audience, because I have 3 cats and a mortgage.
The prosecutors also have personal problems they have to fight outside the courtroom, like Deborah Ferrantino, who deals with the resident male chauvinist in the office.
Let me say one thing. You don't have to say anything, Julie. Not yet. Not tonight, sweetheart. Give us time.
The special session of Equal Justice opens tomorrow night. The show will move into its regular time slot on ABC Wednesday night.
Veteran radio personality Ray Goulding, the Ray half of Bob and Ray, died this weekend of kidney failure. He was 68. Ray Goulding, seen here on the bottom, first joined up with his partner Bob Elliott in 1946. The two New Englanders were both World War II veterans, and for the next 4 decades they entertained radio and TV audiences with their mild satire and ridiculously imaginative characters, spoofing anything and anyone.
Tom, let me ask you this first. When did you first realize that you had been selected for tonight's random lucky phone call?
2 days ago, when that big truck arrived here with the lights and the cameras and everything. The Bob and Ray burglar kit. The only complete burglar kit being offered today.
Going through the thing alphabetically, last week we saluted New Hampshire. Today, automatically, we salute Colorado.
You're right, Bob.
Bob and Ray salutes Colorado.
The Keystone State, nestled majestically in the Green Mountains.
Colorado, home of the Mississippi River.
Ray Goulding will be fondly remembered by all those fans for whom the names Wally Ballou and Mary Backstage Noble Wife bring a smile to the lips.
Okay, this is Bob.
Ray Goulding saying good night, everyone. Thanks for not throwing anything.
On the next PM magazine.
The envelope. The envelope. The envelope.
The envelope.
The envelope. The envelope, please.
It's Hollywood's most celebrated showdown. But does art or money win the votes of the Academy?
Studios will spend enormous millions of dollars on campaigns for the Oscars for one simple reason. It means money.
It's part of the rules, part of the game.
I'm not running for office, so I don't think of it as a campaign, per se.
Inside the Academy Awards, Monday night on PM Magazine at 7:30, following Kentucky Cash at 7:28.
Graduates of our Travel Careers program can expect to have the skills and education to earn a good living, plus a whole lot more. A career where your work seems more like a vacation, helping others plan business or pleasure trips, reserving hotel and resort accommodations, or working as a corporate travel planner. You may get reduced fares yourself. For more details on what it takes to get a travel career started, call Sullivan Junior College of Business at 456-6504. That's 456-6504.
If you want an anti-lock braking system like Mercedes, a driver airbag like BMW, a rear load-leveling suspension feature similar to Rolls, and a more advanced transmission than Jaguar, this is a simple way to get it all. Introducing the all-new Chrysler Imperial. There is no luxury without engineering.
See the customer satisfaction specialist, your Kentuckiana Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
1 out of every 4 Americans will suffer from heart disease. 1 out of 4. But you can help reduce your family's risk with a balanced diet of food lower in fat and cholesterol and higher in complex carbohydrates. Food like butternut bread. It's good for your heart because it can help your body defend against heart disease. Serve more bread like butternut because 1 out of 4 is one too many.
Pretty Woman earned a pretty penny at the box office for its opening weekend, taking in an estimated $11.3 million to place it in first. The Hunt for Red October slipped into second after holding that #1 spot for 3 weeks. Joe versus the Volcano, Driving Miss Daisy, and House Party round out the top 5. Ron Howard movies have enjoyed many great weekends at the box office, but this weekend the stars of his films and other well-wishers turned out to honor him at the Moving Picture Ball. Ron Howard was most definitely the man of the hour as a parade of Hollywood superstars attended the Los Angeles Gala in his honor.
This is kind of a new experience for me. They're trying to make it into a surprise party, which is something that, I'm one of those people who like turn and go the other way normally, but I know I have to stay, so so I'm kind of braced for it.
Howard was being feted by the American Cinematheque for his nearly 4-decade contribution to the entertainment industry.
If you'd like to have a large collection,
Howard, who starred in The Andy Griffith Show and Happy Days, went on to direct some very successful films, including Splash, Cocoon, and Parenthood. Some of the stars of those films were on hand to pay tribute.
It's a pleasure to go to work for Ron every morning. You get up in the morning, you don't go with fear and trembling, you go happily.
One emotional moment came from Howard's wife, Cheryl.
I look forward to our life together, and no matter how much hair you lose, honey, or how many wrinkles I get.
Then, finally, it was Ron's turn to respond.
I can't help feeling incredibly lucky to be able to grow up in this business and really live out my dream. I just turned 36, and I plan to do this till I'm 100 if I get a chance.
American Cinematheque annually honors an artist currently making significant contributions to film. Past award winners include Eddie Murphy, Bette Midler, and Steven Spielberg.
There's one award to be handed out at tonight's Oscar ceremony that's given for good deeds. Leonard Maltin joins us now with a look at the human side of the man behind this very special award. Leonard.
Well, John, everyone knows what an Oscar is, but the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences also gives out the Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award, which may lead some of you to ask, who is Jean Hersholt?
You may know him as the man who played Shirley Temple's grandfather in Heidi.
Can I go with Peter today?
All right. But be back early for your lessons.
The Danish-born actor played an incredible variety of roles during his 40-year career in Hollywood, as his famous nephew recalls.
Uncle Gene was a very, very fine artist, a very fine painter, and he did all his own makeup in the early days in silent movies. So he would draw sketches of the kind of makeup that he wanted to do, and then he would duplicate that in reality.
His best-known role was that of kindly, concerned Dr. Christian, which he played in a number of movies and a radio show that ran for 16 years. On screen and off, he made a definite impression on people, like one-time co-star Don Amici.
He was a legend in the business, and I wouldn't be surprised that a lot of the character of Dr. Christian became Jean Hersholt.
You get a better perspective on America if you live somewhere else first.
And Hersholt was the kind of man to give back.
Jean Hersholt was Santa Claus. If he knew you or even didn't, and you needed money or were kind of short about something, he might drive over and leave an envelope in your mailbox with no name or anything and just drive away.
His generosity didn't end there. In 1941, he and Mary Pickford broke ground for the Motion Picture Country House and Hospital, a facility to care for the industry's own. He founded it, he nurtured it, and the Academy repaid him with 2 special Oscars. In 1956, that same Academy instituted the Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award. The actor died that year.
It's always a loss when someone like that goes. As little as I knew him, I just know that he was a very special man.
And that was Jean Hersholt. And the award that's given in his name tonight will be given to Howard W. Koch, a producer and executive of many years standing in Hollywood, and a man who's always supported very actively, very openly, all good causes here in town.
Thanks, Leonard.
Thank you. Of course, now we go to the important stuff here, John. Who has Oscar-quality hair? And why are raspberries in season for Sylvester Stallone? The Insider shares all of the results of those things when we come back.
Sun-ripened raisins, Nestle milk chocolate, that's as good as it gets. Good and wholesome and more, she's always ready to pour.
I'm always ready to catch some Raisinets. I want to catch some Raisinets.
Ooh, they're all mine.
Catch some
chocolate-covered sunshine.
Catch some Raisinets.
Catch some Raisinets.
Catch some Raisinets. Catch some Raisinets.
I wanna
catch some Raisinets. Catch some Raisinets.
Happy birthday, dear Cat. Happy birthday to you.
Wow, 65. I hope I feel as good at 75. Look at the kids.
If you're 65 or older and covered by Medicare Parts A and B, we have a simple solution to your health care questions. It's the Medicare Solution from Humana. Call now for your booklet at no cost to you. It provides you with the latest facts about Medicare and information about Medicare supplement insurance that pays 100% of your Medicare Part A deductible. You'll also find out about Humana Hospitals and the Humana Seniors Association, a nationwide not-for-profit organization that offers seniors many services. Whether you already have Medicare supplement insurance or not, it makes sense to compare. Call now. The Medicare Solution booklet is yours at no cost or obligation when you call this toll-free number.
Grandpa has to make a phone call, okay?
Can I dial?
Satisfaction. That's why every 8 seconds of every business day, another Big O tire is sold.
Dear Dan, I would like to express my thanks to you and your crew.
The helping hand you extended to us while we were in your town made us feel completely satisfied.
I know that when I come to Big O, the job will be done right the first time.
Big O is the one.
That's a great feeling.
Customer satisfaction second to none.
Air transportation furnished and a promotional fee paid by Delta Airlines. Delta has ranked first in passenger satisfaction among all major U.S. airlines for 16 straight years. At Delta, we love to fly, and it shows.
Celebrating birthdays today, actress Jennifer Grey turns 30. Comedian Martin Short is 38. Singer Teddy Pendergrass is 40. Actress Vicki Lawrence, 41. Singer Diana Ross is 46. Actor James Caan, 50. Actor Alan Arkin is 56. And actor Leonard Nimoy is 59.
The ET Insider called on his far-flung sources around the globe today to compile some semi-important stuff about the Academy Awards. He works himself into a lather, letting you know that Redken has polled hairstylists all over the place to find out who would win if the Oscars were based on best hair. Well, best hair actress, Michelle Pfeiffer. Best hair actor, Tom Cruise. Best hair picture, Field of Dreams. The Insider now turns to the other end of the scale for the 10th annual Golden Raspberry winners. For Worst Picture of the Decade, Mommy Dearest. For Worst Actress of the Decade, Bo Derek for Tarzan the Ape Man and Bolero. And for Worst Actor of the Decade, for his large body of work, Rhinestone, Rambo 2, Rocky 4, Cobra, Over the Top, Rambo 3, Lock Up, and Tango and Cash. The winner is Sylvester Stallone.
The Academy Awards tonight attract everyone who is anyone decked out in a tux or a dazzling gown in Hollywood. In New York last night, the in-crowd was dressed to the nines for an opening night on Broadway. In New York, Diane Sawyer, Anthony Quinn, and Mary Beth Hurt were among the celebrities at the Broadway opening of Lettuce and Lovage, a new comedy import from Britain starring Maggie Smith.
Suddenly, she appeared, Gloriana herself, the Virgin Queen of England.
I hope it went well. I think it did. It was a lovely audience.
In Beverly Hills, Steven Spielberg received the Filmmaker of the Decade Award from the American Cinema Editors during their annual awards banquet.
Filmmaker of the Decade intimidates myself to hear that, so, but just to be honored by the editors, you know, and they're my best friends in the movie industry.
Politicians, performers, and the president arrived in force at historic Ford's Theater in Washington for a gala in memory of the 125th anniversary of President Lincoln's assassination. A wide variety of well-known singers and dancers performed for the first couple, but comedian Jim Morris got off the night's best line.
Read my lips. No more broccoli. Hey, what can I say?
And in Hollywood, Turtlemania was rampant as celebrities and their kids attended the premiere of a new film starring the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Hey, kids, what do you think? Did you like it? Oliver, did you like it?
And that's about it for our Oscar Countdown show. Join us tomorrow for all of the behind-the-scenes excitement at the Academy Awards that you won't see anywhere else.
Time to go put on your tux, isn't it?
I'm ready.
I got to go jump into that gown because we're going to the Academy Awards to bring you the whole story tomorrow. To help us say good evening on this very special night here in Hollywood, Patty Austin singing the Oscar-nominated The Girl Who Used to Be Me from Shirley Valentine.
Enjoy it. We'll see you tomorrow with our Oscar show.
Bye-bye.
Tuesday, it's an all-star salute to CBS. Join Scott McCain for a very special trip down memory lane. Relive some of the most memorable moments on CBS and WHAS TV. 40 years of prime time. Tuesday night at 8. Now stay tuned to PM Magazine. Next on WHAS TV.